Did you have Michael Porter Jr. in your Player of the Week pool?
I did not, but I'll tell you what. There has been no bigger fan. I've championed the Michael Porter Jr. fan club for years, Bob. Years.
On the court, not off, I hope.
I'm the not his off the court thoughts and opinions.
Okay.
On the court, I'm telling you, Bob, I had him as the #1 pick when I first saw him as a sophomore in high school. I said, this kid in today's NBA, he's the closest thing that I had seen at that time to Kevin Durant at the same age and the same stage. Now, there's a kid, you and I have talked about him a little bit, named Amani Bates, who is a high school junior, who is even closer in terms of his look and his game to KD. But Michael Porter Jr., when he was healthy, Bob, he played on an AAU team called the Mocan Elite. And his teammate was a little guard named Trae Young, who was a top 50 player and a good little player, but it was a Michael Porter show. It was absolutely the Michael Porter show with that team, because here's this kid who looked the part, strong, long, could rise up and shoot threes. It was picturesque. It was pretty. He could get the ball off the glass, and his dribble wasn't great. His handle needed to tighten up a little bit, but he could take it off the glass a little bit like KD can and go the length of the court and finish over dudes or rise up on them. I really thought he'd be the #1 overall pick, and then injuries just absolutely.
I wound up being the 14th pick.
Yes.
And then last year, 18-19, was injured due to a back, did not play, and was making no impact, none, prior to the pandemic. I looked it up. It is, it's just an amazing story.
Yeah.
In his last 3 games before the shutdown, he played in a total of 33 minutes with 7 points and 4 rebounds. And in his final game, which is on March 11th, he was scoreless in 5 minutes of play, which now we will fast forward to last Sunday.
Yes.
Against the OKC boys. Suddenly, he erupts for 37 and 12. Follows that up last night with 30 and 15, 5 for 9 3-pointers. What was going on in the first portion of the season? Do you know?
That I don't know. You know, I didn't follow it closely enough because he wasn't making an impact, and a lot of people had kind of forgotten about him. But, you know, I think part of it is the opportunity, and he had guys in front of him, Bob, right? He had Will Barton, who's out right now. He had Gary Harris and Jamal Murray. All these guys had to play, and they were ahead of him. But you do wonder, if you're Mike Malone, why didn't you find some minutes for this kid if he was healthy? Now, maybe over the last 4 months, again, he needed that time still to get 100%. We don't know, because he's had some hip issues, some back, you know, he's had numerous issues. And it's funny, a lot of people attribute it the fact that they don't eat meat in their family. They don't eat meat at all. And his whole family, everybody in the family has had injuries, Bob. He's got a younger brother who was out for the year at Missouri also. His older sisters, 2 of them have had major injuries. So it is really run in the family. And you wonder if it's just something genetic or whatnot. But when this kid is on the court, I've said this, if he could ever be healthy, I'm telling you, this is a kid who could absolutely be a game changer. And in today's NBA, he is the ideal player because he's a better shooter than Jason Tatum, to be honest. He's a better shooter. He's longer than Tatum. I don't think obviously he hasn't progressed like Jason has. That's a big difference, but Jason's been on the court healthy, and we just haven't seen that out of Michael Porter for the last 3 years.